Shipping and logistics represent one of the most complex and costly aspects of Aliyah, requiring strategic decision-making about possessions, careful coordination of timing, and navigation of international shipping regulations and customs procedures. Proper planning can save thousands of dollars and prevent significant delays or complications, while poor preparation can result in damaged goods, unexpected costs, and extended periods without essential belongings. Strategic decision-making. What to ship versus what to buy new. The fundamental shipping decision involves evaluating which possessions justify the cost and complexity of international transport versus items that should be sold in the UK and replaced in Israel. This analysis requires considering shipping costs, replacement costs, sentimental value, and practical utility within Israeli living contexts. Furniture represents one of the most challenging categories, as shipping costs often approach or exceed replacement costs for standard furniture pieces. However, high-quality furniture, antiques, or items with significant sentimental value may justify shipping expenses. Consider Israeli housing characteristics, including smaller living spaces, different electrical systems, and climate conditions that may affect furniture suitability and placement options. Electronics require careful evaluation due to voltage differences, warranty limitations, and rapid technological obsolescence. UK electronics operate on 240-volt power, while Israel uses 230-volt, generally requiring minimal adaptation, but warranty coverage typically doesn't transfer internationally. High-value electronics like computers, televisions, and audio equipment may justify shipping costs, while smaller appliances often cost less to replace than ship. Books and personal libraries present storage and weight challenges, but may have irreplaceable value for academic, professional, or personal reasons. Digital alternatives increasingly provide practical solutions, though physical books retain advantages for reference, annotation, and personal preference. Consider language preferences, as English-language books may be more expensive or difficult to obtain in Israel. Clothing and personal items generally justify shipping due to fit, style preferences, and replacement costs, though seasonal considerations require attention since Israeli climate differs significantly from British weather patterns. Professional wardrobes, specialty clothing, and children's items typically warrant shipping, while basic casual wear might be replaced based on cost comparisons. Art, collectibles, and decorative items often have irreplaceable personal value that justifies shipping costs despite practical challenges. These items require special packing and handling, potentially increasing costs substantially, but their emotional and aesthetic value typically makes shipping worthwhile for items with significant personal meaning. Tools, equipment, and hobby materials depend heavily on individual circumstances and replacement availability in Israel. Professional tools may justify shipping costs, particularly specialized equipment that might be expensive or difficult to replace. Hobby equipment should be evaluated based on ongoing interest levels and Israeli availability of supplies and support communities. Shipping methods and container options. International shipping to Israel involves several methods with different cost structures, timing requirements, and service levels. Understanding these options enables informed decisions based on budget constraints, timing needs, and shipment size requirements. Full container load, FCL. Shipping provides exclusive use of shipping containers, typically 20-foot or 40-foot sizes, offering maximum security and control over handling but requiring sufficient volume to justify container costs. FCL shipping works best for families with substantial household contents and provides predictable pricing and scheduling. Less than container load LCL shipping combines multiple customers' shipments within single containers, providing cost savings for smaller shipments but involving additional handling, increased risk of delays, and potential damage from multiple loading and unloading procedures. LCL shipping requires careful packing and insurance consideration due to additional handling requirements. Air freight provides rapid shipping for high-value or urgently needed items, but involves significantly higher costs that typically limit practical use to documents, essential items, or valuable goods that justify premium shipping expenses. Air freight works well for initial essentials, while sea freight containers are in transit. Groupage services combine multiple customers' shipments through specialized immigrant shipping companies, that provide consolidated shipping at reduced costs while offering services tailored to immigration requirements. These services often provide valuable expertise in Israeli customs procedures and immigrant shipping regulations. Professional moving companies specializing in international relocation provide comprehensive services including packing, shipping, customs clearance, and delivery coordination. While more expensive than self-managed shipping, professional services provide expertise, insurance coverage, and coordination that can prevent costly mistakes and complications. Israeli customs regulations and new immigrant benefits. Israel provides significant customs benefits for new immigrants, including duty-free importation of household goods and personal belongings within specific timeframes and conditions. Understanding these benefits and requirements ensures maximum cost savings and compliance with regulatory requirements. New immigrant customs exemptions allow duty-free importation of household goods, clothing, books, and personal belongings that were owned and used before immigration. These exemptions require documentation proving ownership duration, typically through insurance records, photographs, or purchase receipts that demonstrate prior ownership and use. Timing requirements for customs benefits typically require shipment arrival within specific periods after immigration, often 3 to 6 months for initial shipments with provisions for subsequent shipments within extended timeframes. Missing these deadlines can result in substantial duty and tax obligations that significantly increase shipping costs. Prohibited and restricted items include various categories that cannot be imported or require special permits, including certain foods, medications, weapons, and cultural artifacts. Understanding these restrictions prevents shipment delays, confiscation, or legal complications that can affect entire shipments. Documentation requirements for customs clearance include detailed inventory lists, packing lists, insurance documentation, and proof of immigrant status that must be prepared accurately and completely. Incomplete or incorrect documentation can cause significant delays and additional costs for customs clearance procedures. Professional customs agents specializing in immigrant shipments provide expertise in regulatory compliance, documentation preparation, and clearance procedures that can streamline customs processing and prevent common problems that affect shipment timing and costs. Timing, coordination, and logistics planning. Shipping timing requires coordination between UK departure schedules, Israeli arrival timing, housing arrangements, and customs processing procedures that often involve complex interdependencies and potential delays that affect overall immigration planning. Lead time planning should account for packing preparation, shipping transit time, customs clearance, and delivery scheduling that typically requires 6 to 12 weeks total timeline, from shipping initiation to final delivery. International shipping schedules may be affected by weather, port congestion, and seasonal shipping volumes that can extend timelines unpredictably. Housing coordination requires ensuring delivery addresses are confirmed and accessible before shipment arrival, as shipping delays combined with housing uncertainty can create storage costs and delivery complications. Consider temporary versus permanent housing implications for delivery timing and storage requirements. Seasonal considerations affect shipping costs, transit times, and port congestion levels that vary throughout the year. Summer months often involve higher shipping volumes and potential delays, while winter shipping may encounter weather-related complications affecting schedules and costs. Essential items separation involves identifying possessions needed immediately upon arrival versus items that can be delayed without affecting daily life functionality. Consider packing essential items separately for air freight or carry-on transport, while non-essential items follow through slower sea freight options. Cost management and budgeting. Shipping costs involve multiple components including packing, transportation, insurance, customs fees, and delivery charges that can total substantial amounts, requiring careful budgeting and cost control strategies. Volume and weight calculations affect shipping costs through different pricing structures depending on shipping method and service provider. Understanding how costs are calculated enables optimization of shipping efficiency and cost management through strategic packing and item selection decisions. Insurance coverage protects against loss or damage during shipping, but involves additional costs and coverage limitations that require careful evaluation. consider replacement value coverage versus actual cash value, and understand exclusions and deductibles that affect coverage effectiveness and claim settlement procedures. Hidden costs may include packing materials, storage fees, delivery charges, customs processing fees, and additional services that aren't included in basic shipping quotations. Request comprehensive pricing that includes all potential costs to avoid budget surprises and enable accurate cost comparisons between service providers. Currency fluctuation affects costs calculated in different currencies and can significantly impact total shipping expenses depending on exchange rate movements between booking and payment. Consider currency hedging strategies or fixed-price contracts to manage exchange rate risks for large shipments. Packing and preparation requirements. Professional packing services provide expertise in international shipping requirements, protective packing techniques, and regulatory compliance that can prevent damage and complications during transit and customs processing. Inventory documentation requires detailed lists of contents, values, and descriptions that satisfy customs requirements and insurance coverage needs. Accurate inventory preparation prevents customs delays and ensures proper insurance coverage for loss or damage claims. Special handling requirements for fragile, valuable, or unusual items require additional packing care and potentially separate shipping arrangements. Consider professional packing for artwork, antiques, electronics, and other items requiring specialized handling and protection. Climate protection addresses humidity, temperature, and environmental conditions during shipping that can affect sensitive items including electronics, wooden furniture, books, and clothing. Proper packing materials and techniques provide protection against climate-related damage during extended shipping periods. Prohibited item compliance requires reviewing and removing items that cannot be legally shipped or imported, including certain chemicals, batteries, medications, and organic materials that could cause shipment delays, confiscation, or legal complications affecting entire shipments. Delivery and receiving procedures. Israeli delivery procedures may differ from UK delivery expectations, requiring understanding of local practices, scheduling limitations, and receiving requirements that affect delivery planning and coordination. Address accuracy becomes crucial for successful delivery, requiring precise address information including building numbers, apartment details, and local address formatting that enables delivery drivers to locate destinations without complications or delays. Receiving coordination requires availability during delivery timeframes and potentially assistance with moving items into final locations, particularly for apartment deliveries that may involve stairs, elevators, or access limitations affecting delivery procedures and costs. Inspection procedures should occur immediately upon delivery to identify any damage or missing items that require insurance claims or shipping company liability resolution. Document any problems immediately with photographs and written reports for claim processing purposes. Storage solutions may be necessary if housing isn't ready for delivery or if items require temporary storage during housing transitions. Understand storage costs, security measures, and access procedures that affect storage decisions and logistics coordination. Common problems and prevention strategies. Documentation errors represent the most common cause of shipping delays and additional costs, requiring careful attention to customs paperwork, inventory accuracy, and regulatory compliance that prevents processing complications and expedites customs clearance procedures. Damage prevention requires proper packing techniques, appropriate insurance coverage, and careful handling coordination that protects possessions during the multiple handling stages involved in international shipping and delivery processes. Timing coordination problems often result from unrealistic scheduling expectations or inadequate contingency planning that doesn't account for potential delays in shipping, customs processing, or delivery procedures that can affect immigration planning and housing arrangements. Communication challenges with shipping companies, customs authorities, and delivery services require proactive monitoring and follow-up that ensures problems are identified and resolved quickly before they affect shipping schedules and costs. Customs compliance issues can result from inadequate documentation, restricted item inclusion, or timing requirement violations that cause delays, additional costs, or legal complications affecting shipment clearance and delivery completion. Special considerations for vehicles and large items. Vehicle importation involves complex regulations, substantial costs, and extensive bureaucratic procedures that require careful evaluation against replacement costs and practical utility in Israeli driving environments. Consider vehicle age restrictions, emission standards, safety requirements, and modification needs that affect importation feasibility and costs. Large appliances and electronics require evaluation of compatibility with Israeli electrical systems, service availability, and replacement costs that may make shipping uneconomical compared to local purchase options. Consider voltage requirements, plug configurations, and warranty coverage that affect long-term utility and cost effectiveness. Professional equipment and tools may justify shipping costs due to replacement expense and familiarity factors, but require evaluation of Israeli availability, compatibility, and regulatory compliance that affects professional use and cost justification decisions. Piano and musical instrument shipping involves specialized handling requirements and substantial costs that require careful evaluation against replacement options and ongoing musical activity levels. Consider climate effects, tuning availability, and transport logistics that affect instrument condition and utility. Sports equipment and recreational gear should be evaluated based on Israeli availability, climate suitability, and ongoing activity interests that justify shipping costs and space allocation within shipping volume limitations and budget constraints. Shipping and logistics planning for Aliyah requires comprehensive analysis of possessions, realistic cost evaluation, careful timing coordination, and thorough understanding of regulatory requirements that affect successful international relocation. Proper planning prevents costly mistakes while ensuring essential belongings arrive safely and efficiently to support successful immigration and settlement experiences.